It's Monday night. It's May 22nd, 2023. It's Memorial Day week. Weekend's coming up. It's going to be a great weekend. 3-day weekend for, I think, pretty much everybody around. Indy 500 going on this weekend. Beautiful weather in the Midwest going on this weekend. Meats are going to be grilling. Meats are going to be smoking.
Oh, yeah.
How we doing, J-Man?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good. You know, those the Sunday night of a 3-day weekend, there's something about it that I absolutely love, and I'm very much looking forward to this Sunday.
Yep, it's going to be a good week. Going to be a good weekend. Thanks to everybody tuning in so far to episode 2. See, I'm already giving us 100 episodes back. Episode 340 of the Tan and J-Man Show, streaming live on the ISC Sports Network, as well as the ISC Sports Network YouTube channel, the ISC Sports Network Twitter channel, and the Tan and J-Man Show Facebook page. And the audio is always available wherever you listen to your podcasts at. Give us that 5-star rating and review. We really appreciate it. All right, with all that said, J-Man, you bogey for me. You had a big birdie last week. You got 3 of the 4 pitchers right, giving yourself a 2-stroke lead.
It's only a 1-stroke lead.
Could be 3 after today. This is a 1?
1-stroke lead. Yeah.
I misspoke last week then.
Really? Unless I didn't update it.
No.
A possibility.
At the very end of the episode last week, I said you were either going to get up 2 strokes or miss to go tie. And you got it right. I don't know.
Maybe I screwed up. I don't know.
Well, we'll for this show's sake, we'll say 2 strokes, and then we'll clarify it next week.
All right, Birdie Bogey here. Former Houston Rocket legend Carmelo Anthony retired today. Announced his retirement today.
Houston Rocket legend.
He played 10 games for the Rockets.
I was going to say, I couldn't even told you he was a Rocket.
2018, 2019. Announced his retirement today. He is second all-time in USA Olympic history points scored. He ranks second in U.S. men's Olympic history in scoring, 336 points. Can you name me the fella that is the leader?
That is a really good question, because we're going from 92, the Dream Team, all the way up to the most recent. So that's a good question.
Birdie Bogey is brought to you by Arlington Public House. Arlington Public House is upscale cuisine and cocktails with a casual atmosphere located 703 Main Street in Rochester, Indiana. Over the weekend, they had steak and chicken kebabs, 4 skewers layered with smoked chicken, steak, poblanos, onion, pineapple, and zucchini, finished with a special barbecue sauce blend and paired with delicious baked beans.
Sounds pretty good.
Pretty good. They also had a barbecue bacon mushroom Swiss burger over the weekend as well. So, they have some good grub. Good grub.
Yes, they do. Absolutely. Well, darn, I was hoping for a golf question for the Birdie or Bogey this week. I really was. Dang it.
Sorry to disappoint.
That's all right. NBA playoffs are still going, and heck, they might be over. Or not the playoffs, but the Western Eastern Conference Finals might be over here by tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then the NBA would have a 9-day break before the finals, which would not be good for the NBA.
It would not. This is only the second time ever that both conferences there is a 3-game nothing lead in the same playoffs. It last happened in 2015. But yeah, it's haven't watched a second of either. I know you've tuned into the Nuggets because you are a diehard Denver Nugget fan. You might as well just jump ship. You might as well. You're definitely not a Pacers fan anymore. So I would say just jump ship completely and become Denver everything, because you're pretty much Denver everything already.
No.
So I know you've tuned in a little bit.
Yeah, I've watched a good majority of all 3 games so far. Not much of the Eastern Conference, but
I know obviously the NBA is going to want these games to go at least 6, so there's less of a downtime in between. But all I've heard about on Twitter and whatever is, what do the Lakers need to do? Lakers. Haven't heard a word about the Nuggets, and they're up 3 games to nothing.
And they're using it to their advantage as motivation, because nobody wants to give them credit for anything. Everybody's writing them off, not giving them a chance. They just keep winning. Even the games the Lakers probably should have won, Nuggets finding a way to pull it out. they're the deeper team. The Nuggets are the deeper team. I mean, even when the Joker has an off night, other guys are stepping up. Murray went scorched earth in game 2 in the fourth quarter, having 23 points compared to the Lakers' 24 points as a team in the fourth quarter. But like last game, you have Bruce Brown and Michael Porter Jr. filling up the stat sheet. You have Gordon contributing, especially on the glass. You have Caldwell Pope hitting his open threes. I mean, just guys stepping up. And the Lakers, not so much. I mean, they do. Anthony Davis been playing well. LeBron's LeBron. Reeves been playing well. And so has number 28. I can never pronounce his name off the top of my head.
Hachimura.
Thank you. But besides that, they're not getting much from anybody else. D'Angelo Russell hasn't done much. I think the Nuggets are a better team, and they're showing it.
And I mean, it proved throughout the season too, as the Nuggets got the 1 seed and the Lakers are sitting there at, were they a 7 seed?
7. They were pretty banged up though.
They were, and they made some moves and got hot in February and March to help them even get into the playoffs. But it's just kind of funny. Like somebody was making fun of Bleacher Report because during the game, every tweet was LeBron, Anthony Davis, Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, whatever. And then at the end, they're like, the Nuggets are pretty good. And didn't say a word about the Nuggets the whole time. It was all about the Lakers. And I feel like when, assuming it's going to be, unless both team or one of the teams has an epic collapse, because no team's ever come back from 3 games down to win a playoff series. It's going to be a Heat Nugget final, and we're only going to hear about the Celtics and Lakers.
You're 100%
what do
correct.
They need to do this
offseason? You're 100% correct. The ratings probably wouldn't be good, but for like a very casual NBA fan like myself, I'll enjoy it more. Especially, I mean, a team in Denver, that'd be the first time they've ever made the NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. You don't see that too often anymore in professional sports. Most teams around the 4 leagues, even including NHL, have at least made the championship once in their franchise history. I mean, baseball, there's probably a handful of teams now, 5, 6
that have never gotten there.
Never even gotten there, or is it even that many?
I'll have to think about it while you continue talking.
NFL, there's not many at all
that
haven't got there. I mean, there's probably 5, 6 maybe. Some of them made world championships back in the day, but since the Super Bowl era, they haven't made it. But that's a good story there, and I think the Nuggets play a fun style basketball. I actually think they'll close it out tonight. I didn't think they'd get Game 3 going in, but since they did, I don't know. I just think the Lakers are probably pretty down in the dumps, and even if they manage to win this, then they got to go back to Denver for Game 5. So I think Denver closes out with a sweep tonight. Kind of makes a statement.
I think the Nationals and Mariners are the only team in baseball that have never made it.
Wow. Okay. It's not as many as I thought.
I think. Could be forgetting a team, but this will be the J-Man's Booking Prediction of the Week. I think the Lakers win at least 2 of them. Make it a little bit interesting. I think the NBA is going to do everything in their power to make it happen too.
Yeah.
And it's not going to dispel any of the conspiracy theories out there that are already out there that the NBA is rigged and all of that. So I'm honestly hoping for 2 sweeps, so I don't have to hear about the NBA for 9 days. And an interesting thing about the Celtics Heat series is kind of the same thing with the Nuggets. You have other guys stepping up. I mean, you have Gabe Vincent and Duncan Robinson coming out of nowhere again. Max Strus contributing, where the Celtics, it's pretty much been like 3 guys. Like, I mean, and even Grant Williams kind of poked the bear a little bit, as they said, with Jimmy Butler. But an interesting thing about the Heat Celtics is the Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla, who played at West Virginia, his college career was ended by Jimmy Butler's Marquette team in the NCAA tournament in 2011. So that's kind of interesting. And Jimmy Butler's going to end his first NBA season as a head coach. And they're already talking about firing him. At least that's the rumors, because at least Twitter's been all over him because he hasn't made any adjustments. None of that. His in-game stuff is terrible. It's, I mean, we've always known it's rough out there in Boston, but it seems like it's getting even worse.
Well, it's interesting right now. NBA coaches, they're not getting the patience that that a lot. I mean, look at Nick Nurse and then the Milwaukee Bucks coach.
Yeah.
They just brought their team's titles within the last 5 years. Nope, gone. Monte Williams, gone. Even though their window might be shutting there in Phoenix, but it's been kind of eye opening so far.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks with the NBA coaching carousel.
Yeah. J-Man's Book of British of the Week brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Travis watching for life, home, auto, business, renters, workers' comp, and farm insurance. Contact Travis at 219-869-4561. Just email travis.watching@infb.com.
I was trying to find something. Struggling to find it now. There was a guy who covers Denver sports, and he was saying he thought if the Nuggets could win tonight, it would be a top 5 Denver sports moment of all time.
Really?
I'm going to do this off the top of my head because I can't remember. He put Super Bowl 32 as number 1. So that was the Broncos' first Super Bowl victory. He put Joe Sakic giving Ray Bohr the Stanley Cup after the Avalanche won it in 2001 as number 2. I believe he put... What did he put? He put Rocktober in there. It might have been number 3. Then number 4, I think, was the 1977 AFC Championship. I can't think what number 5 was. Yeah. It was probably something Nuggets related, but I can't think because they never, like I said, they never made the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
I was trying to find it here on Twitter, and now I'm not. Of course, when I want to find it, I'm not finding it. Yeah. But it's interesting. It's kind of funny. Sports Center today, you were talking about the Nuggets, or not the Nuggets, excuse me, Carmelo retiring today. And they said, which number 15 goes in the rafters, Joker or Carmelo Anthony? And Nugget fans were ticked at that.
Really?
Saying that Jokic's the greatest player in franchise history. And the one guy says, is this a parody account? to Sports Center. So, I mean, Carmelo was a great Nugget. Don't get me wrong, but he played so many years for other teams as well. Nuggets, Rockets, Bulls, Lakers. I'm probably forgetting one or two in there.
Carmelo was a Bull?
Wasn't he? For a little bit?
I thought so too, because I was going to say Bulls legend, because I saw a bunch of people on Twitter like former Bulls legend, but
he was a Blazer. I forgot about that.
Never played for the Bulls.
No, he didn't?
No.
Maybe it was just really rumored that he was going to go.
There were always rumors.
Thunder. Forgot about the Thunder.
Couldn't even told you he played for the Thunder.
It was Nuggets 03 to 2011. Knicks 2011 to 2017. So he was only a Nugget 1 year longer than he was a Knick. Thunder 17-18. Rockets 18-19. Blazers 19 to 21. And then Laker 21-22.
Yeah. He was pretty good with the Lakers last year, too. I wonder why they didn't want him back. 13 points a game as a 37-year-old is pretty good. Pretty efficient, too.
Yeah, he played longer than Dwayne Wade did.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's only one guy left in that 03 class, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah, and he's probably got at least 4 years left in him, probably.
Yeah.
He is starting to show his age a little bit, but still, at his age of 38, he's still unhuman.
Well, he play longer than he'll hit more seasons, but as far as age goes, as Tom Brady, who hit, how old was he, 45, 46?
Yeah, I don't think he gets to Brady's level. That's 7 more years.
Yeah, LeBron's only 38.
He'll play till he wants to play when Bronny, assuming Bronny James is good enough to get to the league. He wants to play with him there.
If he'll get to the league. It won't matter if Bronny's good enough. LeBron's gonna make it happen.
Somebody take him a second round if needed, just for the publicity.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Well, the Lakers will do everything in their power to.
Yeah.
Or whatever team LeBron's on, because who knows, he might end up back in Cleveland at that point.
Well, I'm gonna quiz you, J-Man.
Okay.
I want to see how many NBA arena names you can name.
Maybe 2.
But I'll give you. This could be hard. I'll give you. Would you rather me give you the arena name, you give me the team, or me give you the team, you give me the arena name?
If you give me arena name, I'd have a better shot. Like if you gave me the team name, I would get United Center, Banker's Life, if it's even called that anymore.
Not called that anymore.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have got that one. Bainbridge, not Bainbridge. Is it something Bridge?
Yeah. Gainbridge. I'll give you that one.
Oracle is, I couldn't even tell you, is that Golden State?
Well, let's get right into it. So I'll give you the arenas. You give me the teams.
All right.
Then. And I'll go alphabetical order with the arenas. So American Airlines Center.
Washington Wizards.
No. Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah. I should have known Dallas. That's stupid.
Amway Center.
You could give me 29 other guesses. Wouldn't have a
You're going to
clue.
kick yourself, I think, when you hear it.
Okay.
Orlando Magic.
No, I would have had no idea.
AT&T Center.
AT&T Center. Atlanta.
San Antonio Spurs. So many of these have changed within the last 5 years, it feels like.
Yeah.
Ball Arena.
What was it?
Ball Arena.
No clue.
Denver Nuggets. Used to be Pepsi Center. Just changed 3 years ago.
If you would have said Pepsi Center, I probably would have gotten it.
Barclays Center. You should get this one.
That is New Jersey. No. Brooklyn Nets. They haven't played in New Jersey in about a decade.
You were so excited. You were jumping right at it. The Capital One Arena.
Capital One Arena. That seems like the Washington Wizards.
That is the Washington Wizards.
Man.
Chase Center.
Is that the Phoenix Suns?
That's the Golden State Warriors. It's not Oracle anymore.
That's stupid.
Crypto.com Arena.
Oh, my goodness. That seems like it should have been a San Francisco thing, Golden State. Crypto.com Arena, is that Portland?
That's both LA teams. It's not Staples Center anymore.
That is so stupid.
I didn't know that till the weekend, till game
Good
3. I
Lord.
watched. I'm like, oh my gosh, when did Staples Center become Crypto.com Arena? FedEx Forum.
FedEx Forum. Is that Philadelphia?
Oh, Jay, man, it's Memphis, where FedEx is located.
How am I supposed to know where FedEx is located?
Come on, Jay, man.
FedEx Forum. That's stupid.
Here's a good one for you. Footprint Center.
Detroit.
Phoenix.
Ugh.
Footprint. Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
That is the Indiana Pacers.
That is the Indiana Pacers.
Put it in the W column.
Golden One Center.
Golden One?
Yeah, Golden One.
Minnesota?
Sacramento. Oh, boy. Kaseya Center? Kaseya?
Toronto.
Miami.
What did they used to be?
That used to be one of the airlines. That used to be.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Little Caesars Arena.
That is Detroit.
That is Detroit. That is their only arena now.
Knew that one.
The Pistons and the Red Wings play there.
It should be the Palace at Auburn Hills still.
Joe Louis Arena used to be the Red Wings' home. Madison Square Garden.
That is the New York Knickerbockers.
That is the New York Knickerbockers. Moda Center.
Moda Center. That's the Houston Rockets.
That is the Portland Trailblazers.
Oh, man. I was so confident, too.
Paycom Center.
Paycom Center?
Yes.
New Orleans.
Oklahoma City Thunder. Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
It seems like it would be the Rockets.
Cleveland Cavaliers. Dan Gilbert owns Rocket Mortgage and the Cavaliers. Scotiabank Arena.
Going to throw out the Rockets again.
Toronto Raptors.
Scotia, Nova Scotia. Yep.
Smoothie King Center.
Rockets.
New Orleans Pelicans.
I'm going to throw out the Rockets till I get it right.
Spectrum Center.
Rockets.
Charlotte Hornets. State Farm Arena.
Oh, State Farm Arena. That's the Rockets for sure.
That's the Atlanta Hawks. Target Center. This one has not changed
That
names.
is Minnesota.
That is Minnesota Timberwolves. TD Garden.
TD Garden. That is Boston Celtics.
That's the Boston Celtics. Toyota Center.
Toyota Center is the Houston Rockets.
That is the Houston Rockets.
know
That
that
one
one.
hasn't changed in a long time.
That's 3 game or a 3 streak win.
Streak of 3.
Streak of 3.
United Center.
That is Chicago Bulls.
Vivint Arena. Vivint Arena.
Vivint.
Vivint. Thank you.
That's Philadelphia 76ers.
That is Utah Jazz. Wells Fargo Center.
That is the Philadelphia.
That is the Philadelphia 76ers. All right. You failed.
Miserably.
I'm trying to see who has the largest capacity arena in the league.
Wasn't it San Antonio?
No, they're 18,418.
That's it?
There's a couple in the 20s. I'm trying to see which one's bigger here. It's the United Center, 20,917. Next is Wells Fargo Center at 20,478. And then Little Caesars Arena is 20,332. Those are the only three in the 20,000s in the NBA. A lot of 19s, a few 18s.
I can get to the United Center in like 30 minutes on a good traffic day. I probably should have known that.
The smallest one is the Smoothie King Center is 16,867.
I don't even remember who plays there.
Pelicans.
Okay.
Yep. I wouldn't have done very good either, J-Man.
Thanks for making me feel stupid.
And it just hit me over the weekend. I'm like, I was watching, like I said, Game 3, Western Conference Finals. And I saw that Crypto.com arena. I'm like, I wonder how many arenas J-Man can name.
Not very many, clearly.
Well, I wouldn't have done well either. Yeah. So
the draft lottery was this past week.
Yes, it was.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs got the number 1 overall pick and the key, or handing the keys to the castle, assuming they hand it to him, to Victor Wembanyama, or whatever his name is, from France, calling him the greatest draft prospect in sports history. Lofty expectations.
No pressure, kid.
No pressure.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about this is Adam Silver was on a podcast back. I think it might have been one of the Barstool podcasts. Maybe not. He was on a podcast back in April, and he kind of hinted that he wanted the Spurs. He'd like to see this guy land on the Spurs. So when that happened, it's like,
Interesting. Because the Pistons had the number 1 odds, and they ended up 5th.
Yes.
But the conspiracy, it's not going to quiet the conspiracy theorists.
Well, and, every time the Spurs have had number 1 pick, it's worked out really well for them.
Yeah. Drafted 2 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, so...
Not bad.
And I think they like having the Spurs good. The Spurs were equivalent, in my opinion, to the New England Patriots, St. Louis Cardinals for the longest time. Just
except likable. Those 2 teams you just chose are the most unlikable teams.
Except I don't know how likable the Spurs were.
And I like the Spurs. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
In my mind, they were likable.
I liked Manu, but I kind of got tired of him.
I really didn't get tired of the Spurs for whatever reason. I don't know why. But you chose the 2 worst possible teams.
That's what I do.
To compare them to. But
that's what I do.
Yeah, it sounds like they're going to bring in Duncan and Ginobili and Parker to kind of mentor the 7'4" guy.
You got to wonder how many more years Popovich has left.
This is probably rejuvenated him or energized him, I should say.
Yeah, good.
Charlotte got the number 2 pick. Portland 3, Houston 4, Detroit 5, Orlando 6, Indiana 7, Washington 8, Utah 9, Dallas 10, Orlando 11, Oklahoma City 12, Toronto 13, and New Orleans 14.
Yep. I don't have a ton of thoughts on it, really.
And the NBA draft, you have to pull out of the NBA draft by next Wednesday. So
yes,
we'll be hearing a lot of guys coming back to school or staying in. And
yeah, I got to assume on Memorial Day next Monday when we're recording, we should know. A handful, or not handful, good majority of guys who are staying or going.
Yeah, I can't imagine a lot of them will take it to the actual deadline unless they have like a workout or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I did look this up, and here are the 4, or can you name me the 4 NFL teams that have never made the Super Bowl?
Detroit Lions.
Yes.
Detroit Lions, Houston Texans.
Yep.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep.
And the Going division by division. Everyone in the AFC East has. Everyone in the AFC South except those two teams have. Bengals have. Cleveland Browns.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which one of those four gets there first?
Probably have to say probably the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's what I'm saying, based just on Trevor Lawrence's play.
Yeah.
Detroit, gotta get to the playoffs first, but
yeah,
maybe Detroit.
I'm not buying the Lions hype this year.
NFL sure is, but Texans, Browns. I would put the other two pretty far ahead of those two.
Yeah, and really, two of those are unlike the others. I mean, the Texans and Jaguars haven't been around that long,
right?
But
right.
The other two definitely, they've been around for a long time.
But the Jaguars have played multiple AFC Championship games.
They have, and they honestly should have beat New England that one time a few years ago, 2017 or so. But they didn't.
They did not. Any more thoughts around the NBA? We've covered the draft a little bit. We've covered playoffs. We've covered arenas, all sorts of things. So.
Got nothing.
All right. Well, golf. Major number 2, the PGA Championships in the books. History happened. A live golf guy won a major, and his name's Brooks Koepka. Brooksy is back.
Yeah, he's
back in a major way.
Back. Yeah.
In my opinion, he is this generation's number 1 golfer. I think he's surpassed McIlroy yesterday.
Yeah. I saw a stat comparing him in major starts to Tiger Woods, and like percentage-wise, it adds up pretty well. Like they're very comparable just as far as majors go, which is absurd.
He's won 5 now, 3 PGA Championships, 2 U.S. Opens. 3 of those victories have come in the state of New York, which I don't think there's another major in New York, they said, till the U.S. Open in 2026. But that's at Shinnecock Hills, where Brooks already won one of his majors at. And I believe has had 36 major starts, and he's finished in the top 10 in 18 of those.
Dang.
I believe, which is incredible. I mean, he has surpassed McIlroy now for majors. McIlroy's been sitting on 4 since 2014. Going on 9 years, and Brooks has won 5 since 2017. There's 3 guys who have won 2 since 2017, being Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, and John Rahm. Those 3 have won 2 since 2017. Brooks has won 5. And his story is pretty incredible. He grew up a big Florida Gator fan. Florida didn't think he was good enough to play golf for them, so he went to Florida State. Was kind of always overshadowed at Florida State, even nationally by Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, some of these other guys. Then he went over to Europe and grinded his teeth over there on the tour. Then just finally, he got over to the PGA Tour, started becoming a good player, then became a major factor, like I said, in 2017. Then he got hurt. He kind of lost his game, lost confidence, got hurt, kind of became heel by joining the LIV Golf. Of course, had that little rivalry with Bryson DeChambeau 3 years ago, which now they're buddies. They play on the LIV Golf together, and they're buddies. And then, he joins LIV Golf, and then he also, just last month, kind of choked away the Masters after having a 54-hole lead. And then he comes back, and I don't want to say dominates because he only won by 2 strokes, but seals the deal yesterday. So the guy he somehow gets so locked in for these majors, and he'd been playing better on LIV as well. And it was just, I really enjoyed having to watch those Golf Channel guys last night speak about LIV and speak about one of these guys, because you could tell, especially Brandon Chambly, he hated every second of it. Yeah. So where he and Brad Faxon had a weird standoff, because he was kind of getting mad at Brad Faxon. Brad Faxon was pretty much saying, because all of a sudden, Brooks is number 2 right now in Ryder Cup standings after playing only 2 tournaments that count towards it. And so Brad Faxon is pretty much saying, this guy's a top 5 player in the world, if not the best golfer in the world. You have to have him on the U.S. team, and Chambly was against that. Chambly's against it. And Brandon Chambly he knows who's paying his checks. This is the Golf Channel, which is, of course, owned by NBC and, of course, PGA Tour. But it's just funny because they're going to have to figure this out going forward. They're going to have to, because you look at the LIV guys, not only the Brooks Koepka win yesterday, but they had 3 guys get in the top 10, and 2 of those in the top 5, DeChambeau and Koepka. 3 in the top 10, 5 in the top 20, and 11 made the cut. So they're representing pretty well when they get in these majors. Mm-hmm. So they're going to have to figure something out for the world ranking as well. I mean, Brooks Koepka coming in this tournament is ranked 44th in the world. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Are you kidding me? So it's just very interesting. And I do think Brooks is liked amongst the PGA Tour guys. He, Dustin Johnson, a few others. There's just some live guys that aren't. Patrick Reed, for instance, who
I don't think the live guys like Patrick Reed.
You're right. He's not liked anywhere he goes. I don't think Phil's liked amongst some PGA Tour guys, which Phil made the cut. He wasn't in contention, but to make the cut at Phil's age in a major championship is still pretty darn impressive. And he has now made the cut. He's made so many cuts in the majors. Let's see here. I saw this interesting stat. I got to find it now. It's a crazy amount of years worth of majors he's made the cut in. Let me see if I can find this. So it's one of those stats I want to say off the top of my head, but well, Koepka also joined Mickelson and Tiger as the only players to win 5 majors the last 30 years. Let's see here. Where's that Phil Mickelson stat? It was just stupid. He has more top 5 finishes at the majors this year than Max Homa, Tony Finau, and Rory McIlroy combined. One. Let's see. Yeah, because Jason Sobel, who we've had on the podcast before, he's saying here that there's only 3 active players with at least 5 major titles. Tiger, who's 47, Phil, who's 52, and Brooks Koepka, who's just 33.
Brooks is only 33?
He's only 33 years old.
Man.
Yeah, so I got to think, I mean, I don't think 8 is out of the possibility. That'd be 3 more. I mean, they're tough to win. I mean,
yeah,
but
how long we've been saying that about Rory too? Oh, he'll easily get 3 more.
Yeah, now you got to wonder when does Rory got to get 1 more. It's the J-Man curse.
I will take a top 10 though. That'll play.
Top 10. Let's see. This Phil Mickelson. Come on. See, now I'm not gonna be able to find it. Darn it! I'm gonna have to. I thought I just found it. Darn it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up again and try to find it because I'm scrolling through my liked tweets here, so I know I liked it yesterday. I'll keep. But also a storyline I want to talk about is Michael Block, the PGA pro, not a PGA Tour player, who just took the nation by storm. Not only made the cut, which is always impressive when PGA pros make the cut, but he battled and battled and battled his way into a top 15 finish, which automatically gets him in the PGA Championship next year.
Yeah.
And he impressed people well enough at the Charles Schwab tournament coming up this week. They invited him to play in their tournament, as did the Canadian tournament coming up in a couple weeks. That's awesome. So all of a sudden, the guy's making a name for himself. Yeah. They said the golf Netflix series followed him around yesterday, so he'll be on an episode next year, which is really cool. I mean,
since he had that hole-in-one.
The guy had a hole-in-one on the fly, which is crazy. He didn't even know it went in. He thought they were just cheering for him, like hitting one 10 feet close, and it went in. I mean, he held his own. He got up and down on that last hole for par just to make it into next year's PGA Championship.
His reaction to them telling him he was paired with Rory on Sunday was awesome as well. Yeah, just that's what I like about the PGA Championship. You see these pros. I know University of Illinois golf coach has played in multiple PGA Championships. Chris Smith's brother, Todd Smith, who used to run Rock Hollows, played in multiple PGA Championships. So that's what I like about the PGA Championship. But Michael Block was he definitely took the nation by storm. And going back to the LIV official world golf rankings, going into this week, Koepka was ranked 44th, Patrick Reed 70th,
Let's see. DeChambeau 214 and Mickelson 245. Oh no, 425. Which is just dumb. Actually, they have Brooks as 44, but also 118. So I wonder if one of those is supposed to be Dustin Johnson.
I think I saw Brooks was 44 on the graphic I saw.
Okay, maybe Dustin's 118.
Dustin's 118.
Which is just crazy. But I was trying to find, there was a stat for Michael Block, how many lessons at $125 per pop he'd have to give to equivalent the amount of money he made yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm just not finding all these tweets now that I saw last night.
He made 309,000, I believe. He said on Saturday that the most money he's ever made in a golf tournament was $75K. But for like, and that was 2014, I think he said. But he said for like 15 years, the most I ever won was like 3,500. So quite the payday.
Yep. And 46 years old, just very cool. Seems like a very humble, nice guy.
Yeah.
A couple other guys played really good. Scotty Scheffler and Victor Hovland tied for second. I picked Victor on the pod last week, so I was pretty happy he played well and at least didn't embarrass me. Like my man Ricky, I booked it that he fished top 20 and he missed his first cut of the year. Missed it by one. He just could not make a putt those first few days. McIlroy, like you said, tied for seventh. A lot of big names, though, of course, made the cut. But, yeah, good second major. Third one's coming up in just a handful of weeks. It'll be Father's Day week and weekend, the U.S. Open. So, yeah, we'll be talking major golf here again soon.
Yes, sir. Do you want to be educated here?
Always.
On this day in 1884, one-armed pitcher Hugh Daly fanned 13 hitters. Pretty good day.
Wow. One-armed.
One-armed, yeah. On this day in 1930, Yankees future Baseball Hall of Fame first baseman Lou Gehrig becomes first to hit 3 homers 3 times in a career.
He was a good one.
Not bad, not bad. On this day in 1938, the Brooklyn Dodgers announced contracts to install lights at Ebbets Field.
Historic place.
On this day in 1962, Roger Maris walked 5 times, a record 4 intentionally in a 9-inning game. I remember 2016, the Cubs did that to Bryce Harper. Like they walked him like 13 times in a 4-game series or something like that. And he was so pissed off about it. But Cubs swept him, so it worked out for him. On this day in 1975, who won the 8th ABA championship?
75. How about the Nets?
The Kentucky Colonels beat the Indiana Pacers 4-1. And
that's who the Pacers beat to win theirs in the early 70s, I believe, too. Or one of theirs, at least.
On this day in 1990, Andre Dawson received a record 5 intentional walks in a game. So he passed Roger Maris.
I'm surprised Barry Bonds wasn't up there.
I'm sure he has the record. 5's a lot, but there's always a Barry Bonds stat somewhere you can find that. On this day in 1994, Toronto NBA franchise unveils the name Raptors in the logo. On this day in... Man, not a whole lot here. On this day last year, Justin Thomas beat Will Zalatoris by 1 stroke in a 3-hole playoff. After a 54-hole leader, Mito Pereira double bogeys the 72nd hole. I remember watching that.
Yep, he is on live now.
Brutal, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The epitome of brutality, as our old friend John
boy
would say. We sleep in May.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
That all on this day?
That is it.
That is the On This Day segment, which is brought to you by Mooney Woodcrafts. Mooney Woodcrafts is a veteran-owned and operated woodcraft shop based out of North Carolina with Indiana grassroots. They provide 100% hand-cut custom designs that fit your needs, and their pieces are a great addition to any home, office, or man cave. You can see some of their recently completed projects by visiting them at Moody Woodcrafts on Instagram and just by typing in Moody Woodcrafts on Facebook. And if you let them know the Tan J-Man Show sent you, you get 15% off your order. They will make the perfect Father's Day gift for the big sports fan, or it doesn't have to be sports. I said sports fan in your family. Of course, it makes a perfect gift for a sports fan in your family, but it doesn't have to be sports. He makes military signs. He makes Star Wars signs. He makes pretty much any kind of sign you want. So get a hold of Thad, and he will get you taken care of for your Father's Day gift. And I forgot to tell everybody who the word association segment was brought to you by earlier, and that was by Proforma Print 2 Promo Group.
I don't think you've done word association yet.
Thank you. You know what I thought it was? I remember we did the arena quiz. And in my head, I thought that was word association.
After I said, I'm like, man, was the arena quiz?
It's a Monday. It is a Monday big time. Thank you. But the Indy 500 is coming up Sunday. Big deal nationally and especially in the state of Indiana. Neither one of us are huge motor sport fans.
I would say I'm not a motorsport fan at all, to be honest.
But I was a big NASCAR fan at one time. Not so much anymore. But I will say sometimes the Indy 500 have celebrities as their pace car drivers.
Oh, I like it.
So I found some celebrities over the years who drove the pace car, and I want to see who you think or what you think about these people. We'll go with the 1999 celebrity Jay Leno.
Jay Leno, big chin. He had a big old chin.
He still does. He didn't die.
Yeah, still does. It hasn't been surgically removed. Not a big fan of him after what he did to Conan back in 2008 or so.
Yeah, he collects cars. He's had a car show.
Guy.
He got burnt not too long ago in a accident with one of his cars he was working on. All right, let's see here. How about the 2004 pace car driver Morgan Freeman?
Angelic voice. He was in Shawshank, one of my favorite movies.
That's one if it's on TV, you have to stop and watch, at least for a little bit, right?
Yeah. Legend.
Yeah. Yep. How about the 2005 pace car driver General Colin Powell?
Colin Powell. He was a George W. Bush guy, I believe. That would have made sense. Other than that, don't know a whole lot about him.
Let's see here. 2006, Lance Armstrong.
Lance, cheater. He was obviously one of the greatest athletes ever. You could say that with how many championships he won, but he did it not very fairly.
No, he was an American hero for many years and fell off kind of the planet. All right, let's see here. 2007, Patrick Dempsey.
Patrick Dempsey, I think was he on Grey's Anatomy? Is that what he's on? Patrick Dempsey. He's on. I think he was on some ER.
Let me see. I don't want to misspeak now because
I know he's a TV star. Is that who they call Dr. McDreamy?
Yeah, you're right.
Was it Grey's Anatomy?
Yep, you're right. Yep.
Nailed it.
Yep. Let's see. Who else?
Didn't think I'd ever say Dr. McDreamy on the Tana J-Man show,
well,
but here we are.
First for everything. Guy Fieri, 2012.
Diners, drive-ins, and dives. That's one thing. If there's nothing to watch, that's what I'm going to try to find, just to see if I can.
Always makes me hungry, though.
Yeah, I've been to a few places where he's been. It does always make me hungry.
Of course, you have a lot of race car drivers: Dario Franchitti, Jeff Gordon, Roger Penske. Yeah, he's the owner. Dale Earnhardt Jr. But 2013 was Jim Harbaugh.
Khakis
indeed. 2018, Victor Oladipo.
Dippo, huh?
Yep.
Man, he I think his career is over, unfortunately.
I do too.
I think he's only our age, 31 or so, but pretty bad. And yeah, he I don't think he did a whole lot with the Heat this year, but he sure could help now with Tyler Hero being out. I wonder if Hero will be back for the finals should they make it. The 9-day layoff should help if they win.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I guess they'll have 9 days between now and them playing game one anyway. So I guess it doesn't really matter. But
I'm trying to find it because my list here says Sarah Fisher
I don't know
drove
who
the
that
pace
is.
car last year. She's was a female IndyCar driver, but it says she's driving it this year, so I'm not sure. But it does say for the first time in 107 editions of the Indy 500, an open top Corvette Z06 will serve as the pace car this year for all your gearheads out there. It's a V8 engine that delivers a record 670 horsepower, a record in the Corvette's rich history.
I'll be honest, that means very little to me.
Your dad might enjoy that.
My dad would enjoy that a little more.
Yes, yes. Which, happy anniversary to your parents, by the way.
Yeah, 41 years.
41 years. That's a long time. I saw that
It
on the Instagram today. So congratulations to Dan and Cindy Month. That's awesome. Yeah, but that is my word association.
That was a good list. Yeah,
segment list, which I had not read the read yet this week because I'm just reading it, I guess. But it is brought to you by Life Group. If you're looking for a trustworthy, dependable resource for your next trade show, company picnic, or sales meeting, and my read goes down. Performa Print 2 Promo Group has over 50 years combined experience in promotional products and commercial print. They strive to make all your print needs easy. I lost my read. I cannot remember off the top of my head. Let me see if I can pull it up here. This is embarrassing. Oh man, it is a Monday in my house today.
It is peak Monday today.
Let me see here. I'm going to redo this read because I got to do it right. I can't memorize it like the J-Man remembers his reads, but here we go. Performa Print 2 Promo Group says over 50 years combined experience in promotional products and commercial print. They strive for fast and efficient response to all your print needs, so you need to look no further. Let them be your one-source print and promotional company today by giving Barbara Van Weinsberg a call at 574-210-3815. I've got to memorize that one of these days. And my last note for the Indy 500, I am making my prediction. This was one of my 23 bold predictions for 2023, so I'm sticking with it. Joseph Newgarden is going to win the Indy 500 this weekend. Bogey. But he's not starting out very well. I think he starts, where did I see that? He's starting at, he's starting at 17. So about right smack dab in the middle. 17 of 33 drivers. So, any pick?
Besides the guy you just mentioned, whose name I already forgot, to be honest.
Joseph Newgarden.
Couldn't name you a single IndyCar driver.
You've probably heard of Scott Dixon.
I have heard of
Tony Kanaan.
Tony Kanaan, I've heard of him.
Connor Daly, he's from Indiana.
Nope.
Will Power. Ed Carpenter, he's, I think, from Indiana. Hilo Castroneves.
I have heard of him.
Marco Andretti.
Yep.
That's probably about it.
Yeah. No, I don't have a guess.
No? All right.
Kind of forgot about the Indy 500 until you said something about it. Thanks for reminding me to not
You're welcome.
watch that.
You're welcome. Well, last part of the show is always the J-Man MLB segment / Cubs report. So take it away, J-Man.
I was hoping we were going to run out of time.
Not quite.
But unfortunately, we did not. The St. Louis Cardinals have passed the Chicago Cubs in the standings because the Cubs have played absolutely putrid baseball here the past few weeks or so. In fact, they have lost 13 of their last or 13. Yeah, they have lost 14. Sorry, of their last 17 road games. If you can do math in your head, that's a 3-14 record over their last 16 games. They have the second worst record in baseball over the last 31 days. The only team worse than them is the Oakland Athletics, who are historically bad. They just completed a 2-7 road trip. And on this 2-7 road trip, they hit 234 as a team with a 318 on base, 418 slugging. They hit 203, 13 for 64 with runners in scoring position. They were minus 27 in the run differential. Their team ERA was 7.51 overall, 9.10 from the bullpen, 6.45 from the rotation. Some other interesting stats. The Cubs are 3-13 combined on Saturdays and Sundays, and 17-13 the rest of of the days of the week. So no wonder I haven't been as happy on weekends as I usually am. But they're playing some pretty porous baseball. They're 9-20 over their last 29 games, to the point where, which I tweeted this about a week and a half ago or so, saying with this schedule, it's not out of the realm of possibility that by the beginning of June they could be 10 games under 500. And they are definitely trending that way. David Ross has not been great in game, and he has not helped them at all. He's hurt them. In fact, now a manager's probably not going to cost you more than a game or two, to be honest. So a lot of this falls on Jed Hoyer, in my opinion. You look at their 2023, their new additions for this year. Cody Bellinger and Dansby Swanson have been fantastic. Bellinger's hurt right now. Trey Mancini's been a below-average hitter. Luis Torrens, they already designated him for assignment. Eric Hosmer designated for assignment. Edwin Rios, 32% below league average. Miles Mastroboni, 39% below league average hitter. Tucker Barnhart, been one of the worst hitters in all of baseball this year. Then you look at their the pitching side of things for their new additions. Julian Merriweather in the bullpen, 5.09 ERA. Brad Boxberger, 5.52 ERA out of the pen. Michael Former, 7.5 ERA out of the bullpen. And then Jameson Tyone out of the rotation, 8.
Only 3+ ERA. More years of him, according to your Twitter.
He has looked every bit as bad as Edwin Jackson. Hey, he's looked even worse than Edwin Jackson. The contracts were very similar back in 2012 that Jackson signed. He has looked even worse than Edwin has. And I know Tyone's coming off an injury, and it looks like they rushed him back a little bit. But he's been terrible. David Ross is playing Nick Madrigal a bunch. Nick Madrigal has been one of the bottom 3 hitters in all baseball this year, and he's playing a lot of getting a lot of at-bats at third base. Luckily, Nico Horner's back now, so hopefully his at-bats will dwindle, but there's no reason why he should be even on the team. Now, as far as good news goes, there's pretty much only been one piece of good news besides Nico Horner being back, and that's Christopher Morel. Christopher Morel has 8 homers in his first 11 games this year. He's the first Cub to ever do that, and first player since Aristides Aquino for the Cincinnati Reds back a couple years ago. He went on that unbelievable stretch. He's just the third person in MLB since 2000 with 8 homers within his first 11 games. And combined between the majors and the minors so far, he has 19 homers this year, which is leading all of professional baseball. And it's really a microcosm, the fact that he was kept down for 6 weeks, of how incompetent Jed Hoyer is at his job. He has not built a team by himself to be good. He kind of rode Theo's coattails throughout all those years, and now that he finally took over, he's clearly in over his head. I like what they've done with the farm system and their pitching infrastructure down there, but eventually you're going to have to win at the major league level, and he'll survive the year, and he'll probably get at least one more, but if they don't do anything next year, if they miss the playoffs next year, Tom Ricketts got to fire him. Unfortunately, Ricketts is probably too concerned about who's going to win the 2024 presidential election than he will his own baseball team, which is a story for another day. But so Cubs are not in a good place right now mentally. They have the Mets this week. They somehow caught a little bit of a break. They're at home for one, but Scherzer and Verlander pitched yesterday in a doubleheader, so they will miss both of those guys. But the Mets have also been bottom 4 team in baseball over the last 31 days, so something's got to give there. Mets are a significantly better team, though. But hopefully some home cooking will do the Cubs good. The reality of the situation is they're not that good of a team, but they're in a terrible division, so they're only 5 games out, and they could still bounce back. But as of right now, it's looking increasingly more likely that they will be sellers at the trade deadline, which means obviously Cody Bellinger would be the first guy to go. You know, he'd be a rental. Stroman's a guy that could go. But elsewhere on the roster, they don't really have anything else to sell. To be honest, Drew Smiley maybe. But elsewhere around baseball, past weekend's attendance of over 1.5 million people was the best weekend attendance across Major League Baseball in April or May in more than 6 years. So that is a testament to probably the new rules and speeding things up. So the new rules are working. People are coming back. People are watching on TV more. They're coming back to the games, and it was a gorgeous weekend weather-wise. So hopefully that will continue to continue. And but you look at the other teams. Again, the NL Central's terrible. Cardinals have been probably one of the hottest teams in baseball here. The past
Yankees have the best
2
record,
weeks
man.
or so. Yankees have played some good baseball as well, helped out by a very easy schedule with the Oakland A's and Cincinnati Reds, but you got to beat who's on your schedule. And the Tampa Bay Rays have slowed down a little bit, so the Yankees are right back in there. Baltimore is right there as well. Again, that's the best division in baseball.
Yeah, it's crazy. You look at the AL East, pretty much any of those teams would be winning the AL Central right now.
Yeah, and all but one would be winning the NL Central. So the Central divisions are terrible.
True.
The Eastern divisions have been good. AL West, Houston's kind of starting to get hot again. Texas Rangers
Here we go.
good. Yep, here we go again. Same with the NL West with the Dodgers getting hot. They're 10 games over 500 now. Atlanta Braves have been good. Mets, as I said, have struggled, but they're still pretty good ball clubs. So, did you see the video of Frank the Tank yesterday?
I see all his videos.
Did you see the one somebody took of him from afar in
At Citi Field?
at Citi Field when the Mets blew a
Yeah.
3-run lead in the eighth?
He was all excited yesterday. He said Brooks Koepka is his favorite golfer now because he bet on Brooks Koepka. And Brooks won some Barstool people a lot of money. I know he won Big Cat. I think Big Cat put $3,000 on him. Brooks won him $60,000.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good weekend there.
Yeah.
For Big Cat, but old Frank,
Frank man,
he's had a rough sports fandom here in his.
He's something. He's something.
Yep. Hopefully the Dolphins will win him some games this year. Win me some games. This is the earliest in the year that I've been ready for football.
Oh, really?
But I am very ready for football. Which the past, last year I knew the Cubs were terrible. 2021 they were disappointing. But from about 2015 through 2021, I could wait on football. But now I've got that itch, especially with OTAs starting this week. And,
well, not only are the Cubs struggling, Dolphins should be good, and they're exciting to watch.
Yeah,
that helps
for the first time. Yeah, they are exciting to watch on offense, at least. But yeah.
I did finally find that Phil Mickelson stat. I want to share it because if I don't, it's going to bug me. This was his 100th cut made in a major. That's 25 years of making cuts in majors altogether.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's an incredible accomplishment.
Man, that is crazy.
Yeah, because he said the first 100 cuts have been interesting. The second 100, he said something about the second 100. He kind of made a joke. He said the second 100 is going to be the most interesting part. So
yeah, wonder how old he'll be then.
Well, he's 53 now, so 52, 53 now. So
I wonder if he's got 15 more cuts in him, 10 more cuts in him.
I don't know, man. It was a grind for him to make it, but I'm like I said, a guy who should be on the senior tour, really, not even on Live, making cuts when these courses are set up for major championships is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So I don't care who you are.
Birdie Bogey time. You ready for this? Again?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to miss and get 3 strokes down.
Carmelo Anthony, former Houston Rocket legend, as I said, is second all time in career points scored for Team USA in the Olympics. Who is number one?
Well, I gotta think he was probably on the 04 Olympic team, 08 Olympic team, 2012 Olympic team. I don't know if he's on 2016 or not. That was probably his last one. So it's got to be a guy who was on a lot of Olympic teams. So right when I think of that, I think of Tim Duncan. He played on a lot of Olympic teams, but did he score a lot? That's my concern. So I'm also thinking LeBron. When Carmelo was on the team, LeBron's got to be on the team. Did LeBron score more than Carmelo? Those are the two guys I'm kind of going back and forth between. Because, Jordan only played on 2 of them. Then you got Kobe Bryant, too. Oh, boy. I'm going Kobe.
You are incorrect, sir. This player has more than 100 points scored than Carmelo Anthony, and it is Kevin Durant.
He was in the back of my mind early. I didn't think he played enough.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think he was probably on 08, 12, 16, 20.
Yeah.
He's probably on all those.
Son of a gun. 3 down. I'm on a cold streak.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
The Tan and J-Man show. Hopefully Tanner has a better week next weekend. Have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend, everybody. And we'll be back at her next Monday.
Grill some meats. Smoke some meats.
Sir.